So let's start with today's session, and today we'll discuss about IPOs, how to trade them, what are they, and what are the different things that you need to take care about it. So let me share the screen. First of all, is the audio video all clear? Is the audio video all clear? All good, okay, thanks. Trading IPOs. So IPOs are relatively young companies. Okay, these are like exploring. These are exploring the secondary markets for the first time. Okay, typically there are different reasons why company gets themselves listed, and primary reasons are to make wealth for the promoter. So there can be different reasons why a company is coming up with IPO. Think of it like you are a businessman and you have now reached to a stage where you need more funds. Okay, you need more funds for your business, or you have already grown a company into very good stage. And for a promoter, for me, let's say my company has a turnover of 100 crores. I'm making a profit of 6 crores every year. Okay, but that doesn't makes wealth to me. Okay, you can value those things on paper that the company is of like 100 crore company, 200 crore company, but it doesn't gives me money in my bank account. It's like theoretical money, right? I have shares worth of this rupees, but until and unless I sell them, the money does not comes in my bank account. And this is one of the reason why IPOs come, to make wealth for the promoter or the early investor. Okay, because at some moment they have to realize their wealth. Think of you as you have been working for your own business for last 20 years. Okay, you are drawing a salary of 2-3 lakhs every month, but your company's worth is way more. And you have reached a stage where you want to realize up some of the gains for it. And for that, different ways are there, and IPO is one of the most clean way to do it. Okay, and other benefits of listing is visibility, more coverage by various media, by various banks, and that increases the credibility of the company. Okay, you want to go global, that's one stage of reaching to that part. Okay, so who are these investors? They primarily invest in the companies at a very young time. Okay, we have been seeing startups IPOs coming, like recently Urban Company came, Misho came, all these. Now these are like profit booking for the early stage investors, for late PE funds who come upon. Okay, otherwise how these overall startup things are going around is, there is a business, they have a proof of concept. Okay, they have a proof of concept. Now they make a small model for it and they gather 50-60 paying customers. Based on that, you take more funding. Of course, all other things like it's scalable and everything goes fine. You take more funding, you get to 500 customers, you get more funding. And at some point, the one who has funded up here, he sells up to the next one. And there are some next one who then sells up to the next one. And finally, there may be some people who are holding from the starting or at the end. Okay, the late stage VC fund. And then they come to IPOs. Because this is the end. The end goal is IPO. And that's where majority of the money gets made for every investor who is still there since the start. Okay, some investors book profits in between by way of more funding is coming up here, so he'll sell up some of his stake, realize up the money. And all these are different stages. Okay, different classification. So IPO is coming to the retail investors now, from promoter, from some set of handful investors, you are reaching to the masses. Okay, and This is one of the reason to make wealth for the promoter, investor, to get more coverage, to go global, and it helps in further raising fundraising cost also. Another is for business, for your business expansion. And this typically when it comes for promoter, and it is called as an offer for sale by the promoter or by investor. Okay, so this money in offer for sale, IPO, OFS, it's called as OFS. So you will hear these terminologies. This money goes to promoter or the investor. So this money is not going to the company. Okay, this is going to their individual pockets. This is where they realize of their gains. For promoter, value unlocking happens on the IPO only. Otherwise, he is just rich on paper, but not from bank account. Second thing is IPO for expansion. Okay, for capex. This money goes to the company. The company will issue the shares, and for that shares, retail investors give the money. Here the money, the shares are sold by the investor, the shares are sold by the promoter, okay, not issued by the company, and then the money goes to them. Here in expansion, the money goes to the bank account of the company. So every IPO that comes is a mix of both. Okay, they will have some offer for sale, they will have some money for expansion. Sometimes there is very, very less OFS, sometimes there is very, very less expansion, but most of the time it's a mix of both. Okay. So this is the primarily reason why companies go in IPO. Now, when they get listed, when they are getting listed on NSE, BSE, these are two exchanges. This is called secondary market. Okay. Why I'm explaining these basic terms, though these terms does not have to do anything with the trading, but just for your understanding. Because whenever you will read IPOs, you will find such terms. Secondary markets. This all are primary markets. Okay, all the earlier funding that was before this is all primary market. But when you come to NSE, BSE, this is secondary markets where retail public are involved. A lot of checks they have to go through it, and once they satisfy all them, the NSE, BSE gives them a green flag to get list on their platforms. And for listing, they have own benefits like we discussed. First is the money raising is done. Secondary is that it increases the credibility, it gives more coverage. Okay, plus it comes with more and more obligation because people have put their trust in. It comes with more obligation. They have to submit more and more reports, more governance part. So NSE, BSE, they have their own set of rules that needs to be followed if you want to continue your listing. So once listed, that's fine, but you have to keep going through all the regulatory things every quarter, every week, whatever is required from BSE to continue your listing. And there has been times where companies have been delisted by NSE, BSE also when they did not fulfill the regulatory requirements for a long period, and even after back-to-back requirements they are not submitting it, then there have been time when it gets delisted. And when company gets delisted, it's like you can say your money has gone. Okay, because you have shares now but you cannot sell it. You go to again unlisted market, it will take a lot of cut, 25-35% cut, and sometimes there is no unlisted market for that company also. So if your company gets delisted and you are still holding the shares, we can say that you cannot do anything. Okay, there is no regulatory way to do it. You'll go to company, they will do XYZ reason and it will go round and round. But this is very less. This is like very less cases that happen over the history.